Okay, today we will going to discuss the concept of functions. Already we discussed a little bit about functions. In order to define a function, in order to create a function, first we have to use we have to define that function using def. Okay, either you can take an empty braces if you are not interested to mention the input variables. Okay, okay. I'm taking an empty variable a. I'm defining it a as a function. Okay, I'm entering. I can write RUTU or return, where it must be written if I call that the function. This is my function. This is my function. Okay, like this, it has to print. Okay, so if I call the a, so what I got, it is returning to the return. It's returned to the statement called this is my function. Okay, if you are interested to mention any variables like x comma y, okay, then you must close this thing and you have to write return. Okay, so what way to return this function when we call this, it must be returned to x plus y. Why? Because we are giving two inputs as a function, as a inputs for the function a. Okay, it must be returned to the, when we call the function a, it must be returned to the x and y variables. That x and y variables must be added. Okay, let me take an example. So while calling that function, you will get some syntax, some notation here, x comma y. Okay, meaning that you have to enter x value and you have to enter y value and you have to close. Okay, if you enter, you will get the value. Okay, it is the concept of function. Okay, so in this function, in this concept, we can use multifunctions also. Okay, multi multifunctions also. I'm considering three inputs for my multifunction. Okay, so there are three inputs. Okay, there are three inputs. When we call the multifunctions, we have to give three inputs. Okay, so what will happens? What I have to define after that? After giving the inputs a comma b comma c. So what I'm doing is, wait a minute. Okay. So what I have to do? I'm assigning a intermediate variable such that if I enter a comma b comma c, it must be it must be added. Okay, it must be added, and that result has to be stored in x variable. Okay, I'm taking another variable a minus b minus c. Okay, I'm taking another variable also a into b into c. Okay, so I defined three operations here, x comma y comma z. But how to print these statements? So in order to print that statements, that function has to return to the that function has to return to x comma, either you can put in brackets or you can directly write x comma y comma z. Okay, if I hit enter, I'm calling multifunction, my multifunction multi. I'm taking brackets. So here I got a comma b comma c. So I writing 20, 10, 30. Okay, I'm closing that function. If I hit enter, I will get the a plus b plus c value as first output. Why? Because if this function executes, what I will get a plus b plus c as a first output, and a minus b minus c as the second output, and that product will be up, outputted as a third output. that will be displayed as a third output. Okay, this is for addition, this is for subtraction, minus 20. So this is for multiplication. Okay, let me copy this thing, control C, okay, and paste this thing. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting the brackets. Okay, let me see what will happens. Let I will show you what will happens. 20 comma 10 comma what I give input 30. Okay, if I close this thing, if I hit enter, I got the same result. Okay, there is no change. There is no change in this in the output functionality, or else I can write print directly. Okay, I can write print directly, but it will gives error. Okay, did you mean to print xyz? We have to keep the brackets in order to print the outputs. What we have to write? We have to write print, and we have to mention in the brackets, or else the function, that multifunction, will not return. Okay, multi 20 comma 10 comma 30. So if I hit enter, I got the answer not in the brackets but some white spaces. Okay, some white spaces we got. Okay, uh, in this parameter we made a return function. Return provides return will provides the result in brackets in a set format, but print function will gives the output as a normal format. It will not gives in the set format, it will gives in the normal format. Okay, we know, just let me copy this thing so that you can understand. Okay, I'm copying this thing and pasting this one. So what I'm writing is print. Okay, so print x comma y. Okay, x comma y comma x plus y. Oh, sorry, x minus y. Okay. Um, mm, if I hit enter, a 20 comma 10. Okay, I will get the result in 30 space 10, like that only. Okay, why? Because we are mentioning x and y variables here. Okay, x and y variables here. The print variable considers this output must be sorted, output must be displayed in the output function regardless the category of the result. Okay, but if we consider return function, it will always display us into a set format. Okay, how would I know that it is a set format? Let me copy this thing and paste this thing, or else I can directly write multi. I have to define 20 comma 10 comma 30. Okay, if I hit enter, I got 26,000. Why? Because uh, I made here print statement instead of return. I made a print statement. Let me run this program again. multi. Here we output statement is return to xyz. Okay, so 20 comma 10 comma 30. So if I hit enter, I got something. Okay, just type comma underscore. So it will give tuple. Sorry, it's not a set. It is called as a tuple. So tuple indicates that we are getting same variable, same values of same number types. Either it may be a string values, either it may be a float values, either it may be a integer values. It doesn't matter. Okay, it is called as tuple. So what is the definition of tuple? We are performing some operations, we are getting the answer in the same format, but the answers are different, but the results are different. So that is called as a tuple. Okay, that is also known as a tuple. Okay, so up to now we concluded that how to generate a tuple using define function. Okay, using multivariable functions, we can define multi operations in a single function statement. Okay, if you want to write this x plus y x minus y, it takes some time. Okay, but once we defined this function, what will happens, it will always stores in multi sorry it will compiled by Python shell, and it is stored in a temporary variable. Okay, it is stored in a temporary variable. So we can check, I think so, multi. If I hit enter, I got an id. Okay, so this id is a unique number for this multifunction. Okay, you can check for this id for a also, a function also. Okay, we got an id, so this id will not change. Okay, this id will not change. If you made any changes in the program, it will change. Okay, and as until and unless if you don't modify that program, the id will be remains same. So it will always calls that id or physical address. Okay, physical address, it will always went to the physical address and takes that parameters and put it into that function statement, then we will get the result. Okay, it is called uh, multifunction variable declaration. Okay, here we got an id. It is for it's like a pin number, no? It is constant for each and every operation. Even though if you made some a plus b, a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. Okay, so if you check the id for a, you will get something. Okay, if you check for b, you will get something. Okay, and you can check for temporary value also. Okay, okay, there we will get some id numbers. These are constants. These are fixed id numbers, but temporary id will be changed depending upon output. Okay, and how to let me do another concept. So let what I'm what I want to do is, I want to enter names. I want to define a function. So in that function, I have to enter the names and I have to enter the marks. Okay. So in order to do that, I have to assign some name now. So what I will do, uh, student, stud. Okay, stud. I'm creating a function called stud. For the first input, I'm taking as a name, and for the second input, I'm taking what we will take marks. Okay, so I'm taking marks. So in order to define second category, you must put star mark here. Okay, so what I will do, return to name comma ma or ks. Okay, it will always returns to name and marks. If I hit enter, if I call stud, and if I take a bracket, it is asking for me to enter name and marks. Okay, what is the student name? Student name is Kaushik. And what are the marks here? Some, let's say 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 50 comma 50 comma 60. Okay, so if I hit enter, I got student name as well as some marks, so if you check this type, you will get it is a tuple. Okay, it is mentioned in the format of tuple. Okay, we are getting uh, in this condition, we are getting different categories of number data types. So first thing is called floating string value. Remaining things will be an integers. Okay, it depends upon how we are defining the function. Okay, so I'm again defining student. Okay, I'm again defining. Oh, let's play. Let's do something. Stud. Stud. What is the name here? Again, I'm typing Kaushik. If I don't, what will happen if I don't press the comma? See, if I give the space, it will not take. It will give an error. Okay. So if I hit enter, it is saying that it is an invalid number, invalid syntax. Sorry, invalid syntax. So in order to rectify this thing, you must keep brackets. You can keep the brackets also. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, it took string is not callable. Okay, it is giving error also. So if you take brackets, it will not call the function. Simply what you have to do, we have to separate the string first variable with the second variable using comma. Okay, then we will get Kaushik comma. So 10, 20, 30 like that you will get. Okay. What we'll do next? If I want to take three inputs, STUD, three inputs. So my first input is name and my second input is marks. Okay, comma. My third input is DOB, DOB, date of birth. Okay, so sorry, I made a mistake. I have to close this thing with quotation marks. Okay, RUDO or where it must have to return name, comma, marks, comma, DOB. It must be written to name, comma, marks, comma, DOB. Okay, I'm calling the function STUD. I'm opening the bracket. It is asking for to type names, marks, and date of birth. Okay, initially my name is Kaushik. Okay, I'm taking comma. I'm entering the marks here 99 comma 26 comma some 45 comma. Okay, these are my marks. But define in order to define third variable in order to define third variable, what is the third input here? DOB. So you have to mention that DOB. You have to mention that DOB equals to, you have to mention in quotations 20, 29, 90, some. Okay, like that you have to mention. Okay, actually it's not my date of birth, just I'm typing for your understanding. Um, so see, so first for the first variable I got my name. For the second variable I got my marks, and for the third variable I got my date of birth. Okay, so what will happen if I simply copy this thing and if I paste this thing without DOB? Okay, without DOB. Okay, we got Kaushik here and marks and date of birth is also considering the input in one of the input in the marks category. It is considered as an input. Okay, but this is date of birth now. So in order to mention the date of birth, you have to specify the third variable name, third input name, or else you will get empty bracket here. Okay, you will get empty bracket here. Okay, like that you can mention any name, any type of function, any type of inputs using this concept name, or else I will write name in comma star marks comma 2 stars date of birth comma 4 stars. You have to mention 4 stars, but it will give the error. Okay, so let me show you that error. 3 stars and a roll number. Okay, I'm closing this one. See, we are unable to get the output. We are unable to define the inputs. So in order to define 4 variables, what you have to do? You have to take 2 stars only. It will also gives an error. Okay, it will says that it is an invalid syntax. Why? Because we mentioned 2 stars here already. Okay, but it will not take 2 stars again, and as well as it will not take 3 stars as well. Let me run this program with proper namings. Okay, name marks DOP rule. Okay, if I hit enter, it is saying that it is an invalid syntax. Okay, this is the major concept you have to consider. Only you can write 3 variables. Only you can write 3 variables. In order to write more than 3 variables, what you have to do? You have to do student name comma star marks comma. You have to mention remaining things in only with only one variable called details. Okay, so where it has to return name comma marks comma details. Okay, so if I hit enter, if I call that function, I got name. Okay, I got my name comma, I have to enter my marks. Okay, or else you can type anything, it will take, but you have to mention in quotations. If it is a decimal, if it is a integer value, after that you have to mention in brackets if you have any details. DOB equals to 20 dash some. Okay, and you have to mention comma, and you have to write like this: roll number equals to what is the roll number 123. Okay, so if I hit enter, it is saying that it is an invalid number. You have to mention quotations number. If you have any details, you have to mention in quotations. You have to mention in quotations. Okay, roll number also you have to mention in quotations. Date of birth equals to date of birth is not uh, so we should not write equal sign. Why? Because we are giving two inputs now. We are giving date of birth as well as we are giving name. So what we have to do to resolve this issue, we have to mention it with colons. Okay, you have to mention it with colons, then you will get, it's not okay, so it is executing or what it is doing. Let me close this program. Let me open it again. Okay, okay. If a comma x comma star y comma double star Z. I'm closing here. Def X comma star Y comma double star Z. Better close this thing. Sorry. Again, I made a mistake. I should write X comma star Y comma double star Z. Where to close this quotation? Where to have written X comma Y comma Z. Okay. I'm calling this function Kaushik. I'm taking comma. So I have to write my marks. Okay, these are my marks. So comma. In order to put date of birth, I have to mention curly brackets and I have to use quotations for complete section. For complete section, you have to use double quotations. Okay, comma. And for rule number, it is 1, 2, 3. Okay, if I hit enter, I got Kaushik and some marks I got. Okay, so for the thought details, I got date of birth and rule number, but one of the detail is missing, isn't it? So to resolve this thing, what I will get, uh, I will close the bracket here and take a new bracket here. Okay, I will take a new bracket separately. If I hit enter, again I'm getting the same error. It's not an error, but the thought detail is thought one is coming as an error. It's not, it is coming as an error. So how we can rectify this thing? Um, just copy that thing. I will show you. Take brackets. It is giving. If I write like this, it will give the between the values, but again I'm getting empty string here. I should not get empty string. I should not get empty string. Okay. So in order to do that, what is the best way? I will take the brackets, but it will give an error. Same we are getting, but empty bracket will not remove me. Okay, like this, we can give the input to the variable called a. Okay, variable function. It's not a variable function. Like this, we can give the function inputs to the function called a. Okay, this is the concept of function, and this is how we can enter the data to the function. We can enter the data in that function. Okay. Uh, Let me take an example. What we'll do? Let me open it. Okay. This is the previous program. I'm removing this thing. So I'm writing some Fibonacci series. Okay, Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series, CCI. Okay, so what is the concept of Fibonacci series? Initially, we are taking one, we are adding that one to itself. Result will be 2. After that, we will add 1 plus 2, it will give 3. After that, we will add 2 plus 3, it will give 5. After that, we are adding 3 plus 5, that result will be 8. Okay, wait a minute, I am getting call. Hello, master. ఈ క్లాస్లో మార్చాక ఒక ఫోన్ చేస్తాను. Okay, like that. So what will happen? 5 plus 8 is nothing but how much? 5 plus 8, it is 30, and up to so on. Okay, up to so on we can get. Okay, so this is the concept. So in order to do this, what I'm writing here is a function. Okay, I'm writing a function and defining some Fibonacci series. Okay? Fib. I'm calling that function as fib. Okay, initially I'm taking 0. Okay, so in order to add the value, I have to take 1. Okay, initially for the looping concept, where I have to take an intermediate value, that is nothing but 0. Okay, so I'm writing a while loop while while I is less than n. I is less than n. So I when it will be less. So if the entered value, if the value which I have entered, so in order to enter the value, I have to mention the input called n. Okay, so I'm taking the single input function here. I'm taking only n here. I'm considering this n must be less than 0. If it is less than 0, what must be happen? C must be equals to a plus b. Okay, so what I have to do after that, I have to print. I need a series now, so I have to write C comma, and I have to end with C comma, and I have to end it with quotations, empty quotations, or else comma. Okay, and I have to print the statement, and I have to, after C I have to write comma. Okay, so then what must be happen? A must be given to B, sorry, B must be shifted to A, and the value which is present in the C must be shifted to C. Okay, then what must be happen? It has to loop now. So in order to loop, we have to increase the value of I. We have to increase the value of I. So how we can increase the value of I? I equals to A plus equals to 1. Okay, like this we can also write. Okay, this simple statement, it is called an assignment variable. So what is happening here? It is increasing by 1. Okay, the previous value is 0 now, so it is increasing by 1, and it is added to the value of I. Okay, so this is the concept of Fibonacci. Okay, let me run this program. I didn't get anything, but I can call the function. Okay, Fibonacci series for 30. Okay, if I hit enter, I got some Fibonacci numbers up to 30, and you can use this thing as per your convenience. 30, 40. Okay, like that you can use repeatedly. You can use repeatedly. Okay, until and unless that program is not deleted. Until and unless if this program is not deleted, you can directly call the Fibonacci number series. Fib 200 or 2000, whatever it may be, you can get. So it sometimes we need to get the Fibonacci series repeatedly. Sometimes you need to find the Fibonacci numbers repeatedly. So what will happen? It will give an error sometimes if you made a mistake. But if you executed a program which is errorless, then you can call that function. Okay, then you can call that function. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is the concept of Fibonacci. Hmm, what I will do.
Sir, program మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి explain చేయండి.
So initially I'm defining Fibonacci with an input n. I'm initially defining a function called Fibonacci with an input n. I'm initially taking 0, 0 as an input, and b is the output. B is 1. Initially a is 1, a is 0, and b is 1, and looping function is 0. Okay, this loop is always 0. So while I is less than 0, I is less than the value which I have entered, meaning that if I enter n equals to, say, suppose 3, what is the initial value for I? It is 0. So the condition is satisfying. Okay. So after looping this, after running this program, what will happen? It will be incremented by 1. Okay. And it's added to the previous number. Previous number is 0 in I, and the present number is 1. So it will increases by 1 itself. Okay. 0 plus 1 is nothing but 1. So what is the value right now? It is 2. It is 1. Currently it is 1. Okay. So the entered value in value is nothing but in value is 3. In value is 3. Okay. This 3 is less than 1 now. So this 3 is less than 1. So what will happen? Here I equals 1 now. It will increments again. It will increases again by 1. So what will happen? 1 plus 1 is nothing but 2. Okay. So again condition is not breaking. Again this loop will continue, and again this condition will run, and again after that what we will get? 2 plus 1 we will get 3. So here the condition is breaking now. Here the condition is breaking. 3 is not less than 3. So then it will closes the loop. It will comes out of the loop. Okay, this is the looping concept. Okay, so that's why we're taking initially I equals to 0. Okay. Okay. So what is the value of 0 a plus b for the first condition? It is 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 is nothing but 1. So this 1 is assigned to b.
B.
Okay. And the previous b value how much? 1. That 1
One.
is assigned to a. So the current values for a and b is 1 comma 1. The current values are 1 comma 1. So again loop will run. So 1 plus 1 gives the value of 2. Okay, this 2 is assigned to the variable b. So that means the current value of b is 2, and the previous value b equals to 1 now. So that will be given to a. So after what will happen? 1 plus 2 is nothing but 3. Okay, so the value of c is nothing but 3. Okay, so the 3 is given to b, and the present previous value for b is, I think it is 2. So the 2 is given to a. So what are the present values for b, a and b? A is 2 and b is 3. So 2 plus 3 how much? It is 5.
5.
Like that loop will continue. Like that loop will continue forever. Okay, it depends upon the number which we have entered. It depends upon the number which we have entered. If it is, it will runs the loop. It will runs the while loop. Okay. fib, fib. If I take bracket, it is always calling that function. Why? Because we saved that file now, so that's why it is always calling that function. Okay, sum 5, Fibonacci 5. If I hit enter, I got a 5 numbers starting from 1. Okay, so what we can do? This is a concept. Okay, so this is the concept of looping while loop concept in a function. Okay, like this we can do any type of functions in the loop, in the defined function. Just you have to name that function, you have to run that thing. Okay, so we are taking outer function and inner functions. So outer and inner functions are nothing but function within the function. Okay, so I will show you. This is out function. Okay, so this is called as my out function. Okay, whenever I write, whenever call that outer function, what it must has to do, print, take a print. Okay, so this is hi. Okay, so what it must be given to our what must be the output for this? If I hit enter, if I write out, if I write my name Kaushik, if I hit enter, I'm getting only hi. It doesn't it doesn't needs any input. If you write any name or else any number, it doesn't cares. Only it will give the value at the output statement. Okay, but we got an error. Okay, irrespective of the input we are getting, irrespective of input we are getting some statement here, isn't it? Okay, so I am copying this statement, control C and control V. I'm coming out of the loop, coming out of the outer function. And now I'm taking an inner function. Okay, it will not run, I think so. I have to made some adjustments. I will show you the adjustments also. Hide this, it's out, comma in. Okay, let me run this program to see whether it will run or not. Okay, I got the error. What it's saying, line 3, in out inner. Inner is not defined. So in order to do this, in order to resolve this thing, I have to write at outer side home. Okay, let me run this. So I'm getting inner. Oh, I'm getting an error now. So why? Because I'm getting error is I have to call that thing. No, sorry, I have to define that thing. I made a mistake. Inner. Okay, I'm taking an empty function here. Just if I write this, if I run this thing, I'm getting error. So meaning that you have to come out of that outer function. Control C, Control V. So I have to come out of that thing, home. If I hit enter, okay. Debugging will be looks like similar to this concept. Okay. If you made any mistake, you have to check like this. Out, out. If I hit enter, so what I got first, I got the inner function statement. Okay. After that, let me, here we got only the print functions first, print high function first. Okay. It is a inner function actually. It is inner function actually. Okay. After that inner function, outer function is called. Okay. Initially inner function is executed. After that outer function is executed. Okay. After that outer function is executed. Like this, you can perform the inner call operations and outer call operations. Okay. Control V. Or else I will copy this thing. Control C. I erase this thing. Control V. So I'm running this program again. Out some name. Okay. Some name. So if I hit enter, what I supposed to get? I supposed to get outer function statement, isn't it? But inner function is here we define inner function, and the function for that inner function, the return statement for that inner function is print high, and the inner function is called here. After completion of that inner function, we are getting outer function statement. Okay. After the